what's going on? It's Cut Carry Cast, back with another knife review today. I actually am doing a little bit of a double review because I got my hands on two different Benchmade knives that are very, very similar. The first one is the Bugout, second one is the Bailout. And it was actually kind of random. I got both of these knives from some buddies that just picked them up, and I was going to do some separate reviews, and then the more I was looking at them, I was like, you know, these things are actually almost the same in some ways. So I thought maybe it'd be kind of interesting to do more of a comparison video between the two in case you guys are looking at both options, kind of talk about some of their similarities, differences, things like that, and help you guys kind of make a better choice of what you think you might want to get. First thing I'll point out with both of these knives is they're both extremely light. The Bailout's like 2.05 ounces and the Bugout's 1.8 ounces, so both extremely light. They're both very, very thin. Probably I'd say equal thickness between the two of them. The Bailout's just marginally bigger than the Bugout, both in the handle size and the blade shape as well. But yeah, I got another knife because we'll just throw that one in there too. This is the CJRB Echo, and that's definitely a lot heavier knife than these other two. But we'll get some quick measurements on them. We'll go with the Bailout first. Bailout, I believe, is 8.1 overall, and we got a 3.38 blade length. Bugout is 7.43 overall, and then a 3.2 blade. And right off the bat, I'd say one of the first things that I'm noticing is the handle shape. The Bailout kind of reminds me of the I think it's the Presidio, which is an older Benchmade knife. I don't even know if they still make them, but it kind of has this flared top section here, which kind of helps you kind of lock into that knife a little bit more. And the Bugout really doesn't have that. Bugout's more just flat, straight across the top. I guess it's got drop point style blade, and obviously the Bailout has this nice Tonto. They both come in S30V. I will say neither of these knives were super sharp out of the box. Nothing bad, but I definitely did some more work to them, and I got them both pretty wicked sharp. They took a great edge. Lanyard hole wise, the Bailout has this nice kind of like aluminum backspacer that you can get a nice lanyard in there if you want, or a piece of paracord. Bugout has this one. Sometimes I noticed with these back holes, depending on the angle of them, if that paracord kind of sticks out weird when you go to actually close the knife, it can kind of like get jammed up down here in the palm of your hand as far as like where you're going to hold it in order to open and close it. The Bailout, this thing kind of slides left to right, so when I'm going to close it, it's not really like as much in the way as maybe it would be with the Bugout. Like I said, these are the Bailout's just marginally bigger than the Bugout. I'm like, it's almost like a tongue twister trying to say both of these names. Just a hair bigger for the Bailout. Same thing with the blade, just a touch bigger. I personally find myself gravitating more towards the Bailout, and this is kind of their lower end model. I believe this handle material is like Jivery, I think is what they're calling it, or I think Grivery, something like a play on words of ivory, I think. And this is right at $200. They do have some different models that go all the way up to $400, depending on if you want different blade steel, aluminum scales. I think one of them even has a glass breaker built into the aluminum little back plate there. And then same thing with the Bugout, just $10 cheaper. This is technically their like blacked out edition. This is some sort of like carbon fiber style handle. They call it like their CF Elite. And this is right at $190. Same thing, I believe these can get upwards of $300 depending on what you do to them. I know I've talked about it in the channel in the past. I do think that some Benchmade stuff is a little overpriced for what you're getting, but both of these knives are extremely popular. I'm starting to see a lot of people with this Bailout. I don't know what the deal with that is, but I mean, I definitely kind of prefer this one, in my opinion, over the original Bugout. This one seems to honestly be a little bit smoother. I don't know if that's just because that one's been used a little bit more, but that one does feel a little smoother to me. And I do like the size and the ergonomics a little bit more than the Bugout, but both have some metal jimping here on the top. to help lock in your thumb, same as this one. But because of the shape of this one, like I mentioned earlier, you can really kind of get a good grip on it. And I do like that quite a bit. But yeah, just a little bit of a handle difference, a little bit of blade difference, teeny bit of weight savings with the Bugout. Probably pretty marginal. I don't know if you're really going to notice it, and I would be willing to bet most of that weight probably comes from this aluminum little back spacer here rather than actually the knife being bigger. Both have the same pocket clip, which I believe is just their mini deep carry clip. Seems to be super good and fits in the pocket well. I didn't have any complaints, and I will say I don't know how much I'd be like beating these knives to death. From what I can tell, they just have a very small aluminum kind of like liner. It doesn't even go the whole handle length. It's kind of just here on the front end, but I don't think that's why you're buying these knives. You're buying these knives because you want obviously the weight savings and kind of that everyday carry aspect to it. So I think if you go into that with that mindset, I don't really know what other options you have with this kind of weight savings. I did humor myself and just pull up some of the specs for the Hogue Deca. The Hogue Deca is quite a bit cheaper, you know, $150, $160, and you're getting Magna Cut steel with that knife. And I want to say that they're 2.1 ounces, so just a touch heavier than the Bailout. And I'm a big Hogue fanboy, so I might be a little biased, but that's another option you can look at as well. But if you guys like this kind of review, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.